Well, the topic for today, by the way, for those watching on the replay or on YouTube, is called Share a Funny Experience in Your Business. And what I'd like you to do is to do exactly that, right? And please don't worry about if you think, oh, I'm going to be foolish, because people love you when you're vulnerable, all right? So, Penny and Wade. And for those who don't know, we haven't seen Wade before. Wade Knorr, good to see you, Wade, he's been on a sick list, but he's back and firing in all cylinders now. So let's start with you, Penny and Wade, and then Tom, who's still in his pajamas there, but he's hiding behind his photo. Then Neha will come to you. Hey, Todd, good to see you. And then Anna, then Sharon. And when I get to you, Sharon, I'll give you a little bit more time if you want it. Not only share a funny story, but you can share a bit about your business, because this is your first time with us, right?
Thank you.
Go ahead and promote yourself. Goodness gracious. You know who we've got joining us there? We've got Santa Claus joining us. Goodness gracious me. Which is Janet, Cler Piselli's husband. He's a lovely guy. So, Janet, and the same goes for you. And hello, Santa Claus. Anthony, good to see you. When it gets to your turn, whether you can do it separately or together, I'll give you some extra time, because this is your first time with us today, all right? So let's, without any further ado, thank you for your time. Penny and Wade, over to you. Share a funny experience you've had in your business.
I'm actually going to let Wade speak today, because it was his experience with our business. And that way he gets to get familiar with you guys, and you guys get to know him a little better.
Oh, that's so good. And Wade, that means you can get a few words in for a change.
Yeah. Right?
Kind of change. Oh, good morning, everybody. Got a couple of funny things that's happened to us in business here. One was somebody tried to prospect me, and happened to be from the same company that I'm with. And after chatting for a while, even though she's a promoter with this company, she became one of my customers. So I'm not sure exactly how that happened, but so now
let me get this right. Let me get this right. She was trying to recruit you, even though you're in the same company, right?
Yeah.
And then she ended up becoming a customer of yours in the same company?
Exactly.
Wow, how do you work that out?
I'm not sure exactly how that happened, but she's still a promoter with the company, but she orders all her products from us.
It's called good coaching skills.
Yeah, probably. Probably that's true. Okay, good. Wade. And another one you said you had two, right?
Well, another one is I was dealing with a prospect. We were going back and forth for about 6 months, and he kept asking lots of questions, and I was answering it and doing all this kind of stuff. And finally I got fed up with him and told him, yeah, you know what, I'm not dealing with you anymore. You're kind of either, get off the fence or do something, but, find somebody else type thing. Mm-hmm. And the next day he became became a customer. Then he became a good customer for the next 6 months to a year. So it wasn't about prospecting him. It was just telling him to go away, which actually made him become a customer.
Okay. So it wasn't really a funny moment, but it was one that was profitable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Wade. Thank you, Penny. Any comments or questions from anybody for that? All right. Thomas Petty hiding there behind his picture. It's your turn.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. I had set the alarm for 4:15 to get up, but then I went back to sleep, so sorry. You're not going to see me this morning. Anyway, I think Yvonne had mentioned BNI last week, and which is a networking organization, Business Network International. And years ago, I had belonged to BNI, and I was pretty active in a chapter. And most of us in the chapter had gotten pretty close and enjoyed each other's company. We had a good time, had our weekly meetings. And during the meetings, everybody gets 30 seconds to stand up and say a little, elevator speech or a little commercial about their business and what they're looking for. And but one week, the assignment was we had to do somebody else's commercial. So we all drew names and got somebody else's name, and you had to do their commercial that week. So it was just to kind of help us to pay attention to what other people's commercials were. So the guy that I drew, Bill, he's a handyman, and he has these massive eyebrows on his face. I think birds nest in his eyebrows. I'm not sure, but he has these great big eyebrows. So he happened to be sitting next to me in the meeting. And so when I stood up to do his commercial, I had brought these fake eyebrows with tape and slapped them on my face and stood up and said, good morning, everybody. I'm Bill, blah, blah, blah. And everybody in the room is just laughing their heads off. And Bill is sitting next to me, and he can't see me because he's sitting next to me. And he's just wondering what the hell is going on because everybody's laughing. And he finally looks up at me and sees these giant eyebrows on my face and just about fell out of his chair laughing. So we had a good laugh at that one.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. We're getting a few more people joining us for the very first time, by the way. Thank you very much, Tom, for that.
Yep.
Any questions for Tom at all? I guess we're not question speakers, we're just sharing funny moments, I suppose. Bear with me too. I've got Sharon's joined us here. Donna-Lea. Hey, Donna, good to see you. Sorry, I just make sure I recognise people. And because I said hello to you, Santa Claus, before, I'll come back to you. Okay. All righty. 2 apologies, by the way. One is from Lisa Anna Palmer, who's just flat out at the moment. She said she'll see you next Friday. Sorry she can't make it today because she says she enjoys the moments. And the other one is from Desi Perez, who she will also try and get back to us next Friday. All righty. Now, I've got people joining, but I can't see them on the screen yet. So I'm hoping they will come through with us. But in the meantime, Neha, what about you? You want to share a funny story?
Not sure if it's funny or if it's embarrassing. This actually happened to be a first client of mine.
Neha, open your audio a bit.
Okay, one moment. Is that a bit better?
Yeah, it's a bit better. Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not sure if it's a funny one or an embarrassing one. But this happened to be with a first big client of mine, or maybe I thought they were a client. This person approached me with help with regards to a relationship, happened to be a gentleman. But after, I think, a few months of coaching, he needed to focus on his business. So he kind of stopped the coaching. I said, fine, I am okay to extend this particular coaching for you for this much amount of time. And if you're able to finish it within time, it's okay. I'm happy to extend this for you. So we stopped the coaching, but then in that time in between, he kept asking me out for dinner dates. And I said, we don't do that with clients. And I'm like, he keeps on asking, how do I politely keep on telling him and keep on refusing? He's like, don't worry, I'm good. I invite you. It's just, so I think at the time, I didn't understand that this particular person may have possibly been interested in me and didn't even want coaching with me. But I didn't know that. He never continued coaching. He never finished that contract. But this was the funny experience I had with them. So, yeah.
You know, Neha, you're a very attractive young lady, and in the relationship business, that doesn't surprise me. You get quite a bit like that, right? You know, I guess you're getting very used to that. Yeah. I know that some other ladies have shared with me here the fact that many men on Facebook approach them and they find it very uncomfortable with some of them, which is pretty sad. A sad reflection on social media these days. But
no, and that's the funny part where I just didn't understand that this person is, I mean, that's me, right? I'm
Yeah.
so in my mind about this thing that he actually wants coaching, but he didn't want coaching. And
Okay.
I discussed this in another coaching group long time ago. This is 2017. And they said, and the lady said, he doesn't want to coach you. He doesn't want to do coaching with you. I'm like, oh, that's when the penny dropped for me.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Neha. Thank you. And by the way, I just got messages from Mitali and Pat Dry. Both of them said they apologise. One of them just woke up and he's really not in good shape, but they'll catch us next Friday. So they're sitting there.
Patrick is here.
Pardon?
Oh, Patrick is here.
Yeah.
Oh, another Patrick. The other Patrick.
Yeah, Pat Dry. Pat Kern, hello, Captain. Good to see you. We'll leave you till last. Is that okay, Pat? I'll leave you till last. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's always fine.
Okay. And I just want to say something. I hope you don't mind, John, personal. It's nice to see you, John Allen, because John's been having a huge challenge with his eyes. And I appreciate the fact that you're making the attempt to join us, John. So thank you very much, mate.
Most welcome.
Okay, I'll come back to you a little later. Okay. Anna Robson, you're next. What's a funny thing in your business?
So there were two things. One of them is more of work thing before I had a business, but I wanted to share it. But I'll start with the business one, my first networking event. So by the way, Thomas, I've been to plenty of BNIs. They're quite popular here in Ottawa. We have what feels like a million chapters. But the first networking event, and that was about 10 years, slightly more than 10 years ago. So I was young. I didn't never seen a networking event. I had no idea what an elevator pitch is. It was great. That's before I knew what the hell that is. And it was in a small setting. There were about maybe 20, 30 people there. And I got up. And I'm thinking, what can I say? I don't know what they're talking about. So I'm listening to what people are saying. So when I got up, I'm pretty sure that my heart was living in my heels at the time. It dropped so much. And I get up, and I'm this short thing, I'm 5'1", meter 53, okay? And I say, good morning, everybody. I do law things. Thank you. And then I said that. I was very polite about it. And that's just a little simple story. But I also have a funny one I wanted to share with the group if I have a few minutes.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, so it's going to be quick because, so when I was 19, I was working in a part-time student job here in Ottawa, and I was working in a deli, so I was slicing meat. So which means it was a part-time job, and there was lockers downstairs in the dining room. And it was morning, and I was walking towards my 7 a.m. shift. And then as I was walking, I see somebody setting up for their garage sale. It was walking, buzzing along, and then I stopped. I saw a sword, which was, I think, like $50-$60. It was my first sword.
Mm-hmm.
I was standing there, and as a student, $50 to $60, especially 10 years ago, it was nothing. It was, oh no, I'm sorry, it was nothing. It was everything, because I was paying for my own apartment. I had, a lot of expenses of my own. And so I saw the sword. I'm thinking, do I need a sword? Why would I need a sword? But it was calling. So I went, found a machine, a banking machine, got the money out, went to pay for the nice sword. Got the sword. And it's big. It's not a smaller sword. It was big, okay, and heavy. And I'm like, that's fine, walking towards the bus stop. Well, no bus took me with a sword, unbelievably, just so you know. So I had to really hurry up carrying that sword towards my work because I was running late. And I did show up late. And I show up, and by the time both my arms are falling off. It's heavy, okay? And it was like a 30-35 minute walk, I arrived, and I'm walking towards the dining room, and I hear her screaming, Anna, Anna. turning around to see our store manager running towards me with his eyes all. He said, "Did you just bring a weapon into my store?" And I said, "What? No, it's..." And I went, "Oh, yes. Where are you going to put it?" I said, "I'm going to put it in my locker. Don't worry, nobody's going to see it. I'm going to bring it into the deli. Don't worry about it. It's okay." So I dragged the damn thing downstairs. By that point, I was really kind of dragging it because my arm was not working at all at the time already. You know, as I said, I'm small, very small, and I was very thin. I was like 40 kilos at the time. So the sword was a big, heavy lift for me, you know. And then
How long was the sword, by the way? How long was it?
So, like 100 centimeters.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So it was about a solid 2/3 of me in length. It wouldn't fit in the locker. It was one of those medium lockers, you know, like the small, like, so I had to go to the manager's office room. At that point, I realized I'm having an issue here. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Because it's not like I even get, let's say you bought something and then you could just throw it out. You know, it's like, it's here. So I had to explain, I bought a sword on the way to work. Can you please keep it in your closed office door? Because obviously it's a weapon. I don't know. Anyway, I was told to never bring any more swords into the workplace or I'm going to get cited for bringing firearms to the workplace. And on the way home, I already ordered a taxi because in the deli we also slice a lot of meat. It's heavy, you know. So I was done by, you know, a long shift, I remember, and so it was dark by the time I got out, and it was just oi. So that's my first sword story, and I just remember the Nathan's wide-eyed run towards me. What did you bring? So, yeah, that's my little funny sword story I wanted to share with you, even though it's not a business story. So, yeah, that's all.
Thank you, Anna. And I can relate to that. I mean, 100 centimeters worth of sword, I mean, you'd scare the pants off me anyway. Good gracious me. Yeah. Thank you, Anna.
It was ridiculous. Thank you.
Sharon Fitzpatrick, welcome to the community for the first time and welcome to your next level. Before you share any funny story you may have, why don't you share a little bit about you and your business, okay? And by the way, when you finish, underneath the video on the replay, put a link to your business, all right?
Okay, will do. Yeah, I live in Ireland. I've been here since 2004 and love it. And then during the lockdown, I was a little bit bored and I thought, what can I do? And something that would help people. So I decided to do a cooking channel. And I started off with just doing one video just to try it, and everyone said it was really good, so I just carried on, and I'm doing one a week now. Every Wednesday morning I put one up, and I'm currently getting a website done, so there'll be lots of information on there about all sorts of lifestyle things. So the channel is called Lifestyle with Sharon. My funny story is one of the videos that I did, it was making caramel ice cream, and you had to mix some egg whites, you know, so it gets all stiff, just like you're doing meringues, and you make sure it's ready by tipping the bowl upside down. Mm-hmm. And of course, as I tipped it upside down, it started to come out the bowl. So I had to redo it, and that was fine. So then I decided when I was editing it, I was going to put it as bloopers at the end of the video. So I actually put it on the video so people could see what I done wrong. Good
on you. Yeah, that's really clever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because people love the bloopers bit, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And there was another one I did where I forgot what I was actually cooking. So say it was the ice cream, for instance, I'd say I do an introduction, and today I'm going to be making, and then I went like, oh, what am I making? I forgot, so I put that in as well. So that was in the bloopers. So I've done a couple of those.
Good. Well, please make sure you put I know you put your link for your YouTube channel in before when you first joined us. Do it again. And I encourage everyone here and who's watching the replay to join Sharon and make her YouTube channel as successful as we can. So well done, Sharon. And
lovely,
welcome to your next level.
Thank you. I'll put the funny one up. I'll put that so everyone can see. You can look at the blooper.
And by the way, I'm a subscriber to your channel.
And I'm subscribed to yours as well and commented and liked your videos the other day as well.
I know that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Next is Janet or Anthony. Which one wants to go first? Because I said this because Santa Claus and Janet, you can see a husband and a wife, right? And they're on two different cameras here. So which one? Janet, you want to go first?
Well, I was just saying Santa should go first because he actually has a funny story.
All right.
I can't think of anything right now. I'm sure.
Well, how about I'll come back to you and you can do a bit of a promo about your business. How about that?
That's perfect.
All right. Well, Anthony, Santa Claus, now before you say anything, I want to say this. I hope that I'm not going to embarrass you. You know that. Okay? but Anthony Piselli, if you haven't connected with him, please make sure you do. He's a man of unbelievable wisdom. But also, it is ironic that you joined, and I didn't know you were going to join, right? Because this is one of my funny stories. It involves you, and you don't even know about it, right?
Okay.
But the Christmas before last, I think it was, Anthony created a Santa Claus video for the kids in this little Thai village. You remember that?
Yes.
Okay. He created this Santa Claus video, and every kid in the village over a period of about a month came in and watched this video. I even had to go to the school and show the video, etc. Right? And they all loved seeing Santa Claus, right? Well, I couldn't believe that our granddaughter had access to Santa Claus, right? Anyway, and I got a bit carried away with it, and you know that as well, Anthony. But the funny story was this. I was also creating welcome videos to people who were joining me for the first time. Okay, and I would create a welcome video and send it to them, saying it's nice to be connected with you, etc., etc. Anthony, I sent them the wrong video. I sent them your Santa Claus video. And here they've got Santa Claus talking to this new connection of mine. I thought, what's going on here? You know, I didn't know it was an innocent mistake. But
that's funny.
Why it's ironic, Anthony, is because today I've already sent the wrong links to people for this time meeting as well. Okay? I am not a very good multitasker. So.
You're just proving us all wrong that you're human.
Anthony,
and you are human.
Thank you. And it's good to see you, my man.
Oh, it's good to see you. It's good to see everybody. Well, the one funny story I have from this past year, this was a very challenging year because of all this lockdown and COVID and all this other garbage that's going on in the world. So Santa work was limited to either being put in a plastic bubble, like a globe, like a friend of mine did, or virtual visits. So I chose the latter. I chose the virtual visits, and I had one visit with a child, and I came on and said, "Hello, how are you? How's everything going?" He goes, "Oh, Santa, I've been so bad. Oh, Santa, I did." And he just rattled off a huge 5-minute confession of all the bad things that he had done for the year. And I was just like, oh, no. Well, you know what? Because you know that you did these things and you were wrong, that puts you on the nice list. So that was my funny experience. It was just like, oh my God, this kid is, I was like, some of the things, well, he could have gone over my knee for, but you know what? Hey.
Love it.
But it was a lovely 15-minute video. And it was a great way to start it, to start the season. I think it was like one of the first 3 or 4 visits that I had done. And out of the, oh my God, I think I did like 100 to 150 visits virtually into people's living rooms. And it was through a company. And when I, later in the year, I'll get my, it was .com. And I get you can get a specific ID number, but all the Santas are wonderful there. So we can, everybody, you can have a Santa visit, a 10 minutes, 10 minute or 15-minute visit with Santa, and and it's very reasonable too. So, but that was one of the funniest things. And another funny thing is that when I get the young kids, because Janet and I share an office, and I have to put up a screen behind me so that I can, have their logo and everything else. And when the 2-year-olds and the 3-year-olds and the 4-year-olds are talking to me and being so sweet, all I hear in the background is, oh no, oh that's so beautiful.
It's hard to not get in the spirit when sitting right behind me. That booth right there is where Santa's working. I'm trying to do my finance work, my accounting, and every 5 minutes I hear, ho, 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 ho. Or like he said, a sad story, and I'm over here with tears running down my face. These little kids are so cute.
I must tell you something else, Anthony, that my granddaughter had to convince the teachers in the school that Santa Claus definitely speaks English, right? She's got it on first-hand personal authority. She speaks with him on Facebook. Great story. Thank you very much, Anthony. Enjoyed it. Good to see you, my man. I hope you can join us.
Good to see you. Oh, you're very welcome.
Janet.
Well, I don't know if I can follow that Santa story. I don't know if I can top that. So
no, don't try.
Exactly. So, like I said, I don't have any funny stories, but I've been trying to get on one of these Zooms here with Peter, and I just happen to have the day off today. So lucky for you guys, I got to join today. Well, yeah, after this, I have to start getting our tax return ready, so I'm not really excited about that. But just a little bit brief, I'm in the wellness field industry. I use and promote CBD and hemp products, and more recently, I've added a fantastic wellness product to my arsenal, and it's in the form of magic socks.
Magic what?
It's magic socks. It's not really magic. I don't really know how to describe it, but I was suffering with some yeah, there you go.
Box socks.
Penny's got the socks on.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have it's wearable technology. So this is called an eSmart sleeve, and I wear it on my arm. So there's patterns sewn into these products, and when it touches the receptors on your skin, it sends signals to your brainstem in your brain and literally changes your brain. So fascinating products.
Yeah, does it help you multitask?
It helps with focus. Well, this is called the eSmart sleeve. Sorry, I got landscaping crew right outside my condo.
That's all right, no problem.
But yeah, it's technology that's in these products, and it helps with balance and energy, pain. It's just absolutely fantastic. I was suffering with severe back pain, leg issues, and I have to sit at a desk all day long, and back in October, I couldn't sit and do my job. So I am now sitting because of these socks.
Awesome.
So
Anna, do me a favor. Would you please put a link to what you're talking about underneath the replay in the Your Next Level group? Could you do that?
Absolutely. I would love to share these.
I'd love you to do that as well. And Anthony, if you had anything you want to do in terms of the Santa Claus arrangements, because I think you provide a wonderful service. If you've got a link or a page they could use, please go ahead and do that, all right?
Right.
All right. Thank you, Janet, and thank you, Anthony. You're a great team. Really good.
Thanks.
John D. Allen. Sometimes I call this guy Long John Silver because he always talks with one eye, right? So
when you're blind in one eye and can't see out of the other one, you're doing okay.
Yeah. Nice to see you, John. And I hope you're feeling better.
One of the, I'll share a story going back to when, like Anna, in my early career, just get out of high school, I go into the military and I join the military police, my dream job. My first base I'm stationed on is North Bay at a Beaumont missile base, out where the actual missiles were. I don't know if any of you are familiar or not, but they have what they call a sally port. When you go on the base, there's a gate they lift up, you drive in your car, they lower the gate, you go in, you get your badge, then you raise the gate and they can leave. Mm-hmm. Well, the base commander came out with the deal that nobody could have the MP go out to collect their badge. They had to personally get out of their vehicle, turn in their badge, go back in. So this one morning, they'd been on a night shift, worked all night. The base commander, he'd been there early and he's leaving. He pulls his car in and I see this waving to me to come out there. Nope. Waves again. Nope. So being a cocky private, I decided I'm going to go have a coffee. My sergeant's right upstairs. He says to me, what the hell are you doing? I said, I'm going to have a coffee. So I go have a coffee and he's killing himself laughing because when I get back, the base commander's standing at the man gate, just rattling this gate, mattering a wet hen. Let him in. Morning, sir. Throws down his badge. He says, Private, the next time I give you an effing order to get over here and get my badge, you damn well better do it. No, sir. What the hell do you mean? No, sir. And at that time they had the, you didn't have a whiteboard. You had the flip charts where you had to write on. Mm-hmm. And he'd written out his order and he signed it. I bring this flip chart over to the window and I read, under no circumstances will anyone, regardless of rank, have the MPs come out to get their badge. Everyone must get out and turn it in. And he signed it. And I said, and I do believe that's your signature, isn't it, sir? Well, slams the, like I say, slam the badge down, let him go through the gate. I said, have a nice day, sir. Walked back out and my sergeant says, holy crap. I don't know what you did, but, you know, this is going to be all over the base. It didn't take long that my base commander's story was all over the base at North Bay. And, you know, so whenever anybody pulled in, if they saw me sitting in the entrance gate, they all got out of their vehicles. So, you know, a 19-year-old kid locking the base commander in, I think I did pretty good.
You know. You did. Thank you, John.
You're welcome.
Made him in his own words, right?
Yep.
Just got a message from Adil, by the way. He's apologising. He's saying, Peter, really sorry. We got no power. And so I hope I can join you next week. So there you go. Now, thank you, John, for that. Donna-Lea Bowman.
Nice. Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. So I actually have two if we have time. If not, I'll tell you. So early in my career, I traveled through Eastern Ontario with Bell Canada Yellow Pages. And so from October to February, I used to be on the road. I was only home on weekends. So imagine being in hotels, and I'm talking, these are small towns, so we're talking motels, you know, because the hotels were too expensive. And so 3 meals a day in restaurants, and, you know, it got to the point where all I wanted was a peanut butter sandwich. So I used to actually bring peanut butter and bread because, you know, at the restaurants, it's greasy. It's, at that point, it wasn't sophisticated. Anyway, we went to a Chinese restaurant, and this restaurant, it was in a very old building. And we walk in, and this place is full. It's like a local hangout. So I'm sitting at the corner of a table, and there's about 15 people, you know, like on either side of the table going down. And so we're sitting there, and we're chatting, and we had just gotten up to the buffet and come back down and sat down. And out of the corner of my eye, I see something move on the table. And then a gentleman on the other side, his name is Bob, he took a rice bowl, he turned it around and he went like that. So he literally put it down on the table. And I said, could you tell me, I'm afraid to ask what that is. So he kind of lifted it. It was a cockroach. So at this point, there was only one other woman with us, and she was sitting beside me, and we took our plates and we moved them. There was no way we were going to eat this. So we called over the owner, and I said, there's a cockroach. So Bob lifts the thing a little bit, you know, to show him. His response was, what do you expect? I had the carpets cleaned last week. Where else will they go? Yeah. So, yeah. And everybody
sounds reasonable to me. Well, it sounds reasonable to me.
But everybody else, all of the men at the table ate, and they went back and they went back, and I had no way to get back. You know, so we're in a small town. There wasn't any taxis at that point at night, and so I had to sit there and watch this. So it was, yeah, it was
the peanut butter sandwiches. Eh?
Yeah, well, yeah. When I went home, I had a peanut butter sandwich. Can I tell one more really quickly?
Oh, go.
Okay, so this is in the same town that I'm talking about now, and we had a major storm the day before, and I was driving a sports car at the time, not really realizing that there's common sense. But anyway, the sports car was great for getting through the snow. So I had told a customer the day before that I would meet them, you know, like I would go to their residence or their business the next morning. But when I got out on the roads and I got past the main highway, all of the signs were covered in snow. All of the, you know, the city signs, like the green signs. This wasn't just like local. So I actually had to call him on my brick cell phone and tell him that I couldn't find my way because there was no way. Like I had went down some streets and the snow was starting to get a lot higher. It was starting to get into rules. So I actually had to turn around and go back because I've never had that happen afterward, but deep, deep snowfall.
Wow.
So there you go.
Wow. Thank you, Donna. Any questions for Donna? Anyone else got, I mean, Patrick, coming to you, but we're going to finish soon. Anyone else got another story before I get to Captain Patrick? Do you want to share?
There's plenty of stories, but it depends on where we go.
Yeah.
I mean,
I blew myself the foot there. Done it again, Peter. Next week is story time. In other words, I want you to share a story. It can be funny, it can be amazing, it can be hard to believe, but it's got to be about you. It can be about your business if you want, but I want you to focus on you if you possibly can, so people can get an inside look into you a bit more about that. Okay, whether it's a shocker, whether it's something that's strange, whether it's something you think no one would believe this is true, like Anna, you with your sword, right? Whatever it is. But you think about this. If you come up with this, I want you to come up with a story about you that really can surprise people. And I'll give you a clue. I'm coming to you, Patrick. I'll give you a clue. Okay, this is it's got to be real. And this is real. In my family, my father's two brothers married my mother's two sisters. Right? So we're all a pretty close family. You could almost call us incestuous family, a certain thing, right? Because my cousins are like brothers and sisters. But that has created a lot of funny stories for me, and I'll share one next week, because all of my cousins are in online businesses. Okay, and so I'll share one or two of those with you next week. But you come up with some ideas for yourself. All right, thank you so much for that, Patrick. Over to you, my man.
Great, funny stories. I love them. I love when people tell stories. That's cool. Before I get going, the two tugs are in the back of me. The inboard one is called the Kavik. The outboard one is called the No Attack. They're sister tugs. They used to be landing crafts in Vietnam, and one was burnt up. One was up on the beach. Crowley pulled them off, cut the ramps off, put a round bow on them, and put a telephone booth up on top. Enough for one person, but we got 10 people in that little wheelhouse one day. We pushed them in there. They were natives from Shizmaraft. Bunch of kids. It was pretty fun. Anyway, those are the first two tugs I ever worked on when I was a young man. The funny story I'm going to tell you is when I was riding my bicycle across the United States, I was in Mississippi, and I camped out on this in this trailer park. The lady gave me she was an ex-Army. She gave me a $10 a night. I went, sweet, because she seen my Vietnam veteran. So anyway, I wanted to do a live video. So I knew across this barbed wire fence, up the dike and down the dike was the Mississippi River. So I jumped the fence, ripped my pants anyway. As I was walking up the hill, I turned my phone on and I started my live. I got to the crest. I said, well, there's the Mississippi. Let's go down and dip our feet into the waters. So I said, okay, so I walked up, started to walk down the hill. Got maybe about 10 feet from the water. And all of a sudden I fell on my ass and slid right on into Mississippi. Phone went flying in the mud. I went, and all the colorful language that was coming out was just going on on this live. And I found my phone buried, kind of half buried in the mud, and it was still going.
My God.
Okay. So I wiped it off with with the rag I had. It was really thick mud. I had it all over me. It was just insane.
You were lucky to get the phone.
Huh?
You were lucky to find the phone.
Yeah, I did. And I cleaned it up. About a day later, it went out. That's when I had to go find a new phone.
All right. Thank you, Pat.
That's it.
Thank you. Good stuff, my man. Anna, you had one more story?
I do. It's I just realized I need to do this. Yeah, this one is actually very, very funny, and it involves my mother. So we are obviously immigrants to Canada, basically you can tell by accent. And so, one thing is to learn the language, is another to learn the culture and how the language is used in the culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my mom is a mathematician, always at high end, like project management positions and all that thing. So we got to Canada, and she got, I don't know, I guess, into financial advisors, I guess, insurance selling group. And so what she was told to do was to start to do cold calling. And that was a good 15, 17 years ago, okay? So you didn't have that online marketing aspect by any means. So, and my mom is very much, you told her to do something for work, she will do it, right? So my mom took the yellow pages. She sat down, started calling. Like, I have a business offer for you, opportunity, blah, 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 blah. So she's calling, and she reached somebody that she apparently was having a great conversation with, based on how she was smiling. She turns around to me after the conversation and says, Anna, what's a pimple? I said, well, it's on your face. It's a blemish.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, why was I speaking to one? I said, well, first of all, I don't know why. That's your choice. But so then it turns out that she called, did her script, the little template script.
Mm-hmm.
As all with a nice Russian tech accent, mind you. And she was talking to what she says is a lovely, lovely gentleman. And she said, I have a business opportunity, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yes, I do too. And she says, I have a big group of people that you can work with. And he said, oh yeah, me too. So they have really hit it, on, and it was great conversation and all of this. And so in the end, it turned out, it took a while to deduce this. So she was talking to a pimp, so escort office. First of all, I had to explain to my mom what that is. She was like,
so she didn't know what a pimp was?
No, it's a cultural thing here in North America. For us, it's not something we knew about. Well, I mean, there's obviously Russian words for it, but she didn't know the English word for it. So she was talking to the nice pimple and talking to him about her financial opportunity. And he was talking to her about his escort opportunities. So but it was apparently a very lovely conversation with a very lovely gentleman who is a pimple. Yeah. So that one goes down in history as one of my the funniest moments when I realized what she's telling me about a pimple, because it was like, pimple, really? It's like she said the word a million times. Like, I need to look it up. I'm like, so, so that was just sticks in my mind. It's one of the funniest, she's very committed to doing what is told to do, but to this day, I can't not die laughing. Yeah. Same, Janet. Same.
Yeah.
So,
Good on you, Anna. Thank you very much for that. And God bless your mother. Goodness gracious me. Any other question? Any other stories? Because otherwise we'll wrap it up. If you got a story to share, I'm more than happy to have it. If not looking around, everyone's saying no. All right. Thank you for sharing your time. And I will, as always, upload this tomorrow to YouTube. Please make sure that Sharon, lovely to meet you for the first time. Good to see you. And Janet and Anthony, great to see all of you guys. Make sure you put the links not just here, but also in the group under the replay, because I'll take those links also and put them in the YouTube video, okay? And then I send that YouTube to you, and I also send it out to my email list, all right? So it's my way of trying to help you in some small way. And the purpose of today, you might think, well, I mean, what's the point of funny stories? Well, the point of funny stories is to get people to get to know you. And I'm a firm believer that the more vulnerable and transparent and more authentic you are, the more attractive you are to people. And I think that was the method and the madness behind today. So I hope you didn't mind me doing it that way. Okay.
Peter, before we go, Peter, may I say something?
Sure.
So next week for International Women's Week, myself and one of my associates are going to be presenting at International Women's Week. It's going to be a 1.5 hour, just a workshop, a fun workshop. And it's about how to survive in a VUCA world, something volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And it's just going to be a fun little workshop. Would you mind if I put it on the,
Yes.
I guess it's too late to put it in since we're going to be.
Do me a favor, Donna. Create a post for it and put it in the group.
Okay, I'll do that.
Rather than as a comment on this. I mean, that sounds like a pretty good offer to me, so I think people might be interested.
Perfect, thank you. I will do that today.
I mean, remember, the whole purpose of this group is it's nothing to do with promoting me. It's me trying to promote you. That's the point of it. It's the reverse of most Facebook groups you go to. I'm not trying to do that, okay? I want to take you and your business to the next level. So, Patrick, you got a question?
Peter, one note, when I going down that embankment and slipping into the, completely sliding out into the Mississippi, trying to get my footing it took me a while to get stood back up, because each time I started to stand back up, the further I went back into the river. Basically, I was up to my waist in the river sliding, trying to get out.
I honestly don't know how you found your phone.
Yeah, it was at the water's edge there.
Yeah, well, you're lucky. Interesting way to be connected with the Mississippi River.
Exactly. I dipped my toes in the water.
You did more than tip your toe in.
I was covered from head to toe with the thick, soft mud.
Yeah.
The time I got back up from the embankment back to my campsite, the mud was dry because of the heat.
My God.
Then I had to go take a shower, wash my clothes. I kind of destroyed the wash machine because of all this mud. I tried to rinse it off, and the shower got clogged.
With mud.
I had to clean that mess up as well.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you, everybody. Sharon and Donna, everyone. Thanks for joining. And same time next week, if you can join us. And the topic you already know about, but I'll fine-tune it, okay? But it's to do with you, okay? Something that is that people don't know about you, something that may shock people about you, whatever, something that is unusual, amazing, whatever it is, about you. So, and it's your chance to promote you again, okay? And this is the whole purpose of these sessions, and at the same time to interact with each other and more important, to enjoy, okay? And by the way, had another apology from Yvonne Jones, okay? We picked the wrong time for some people this week, so they'll be all with us next week. So if you join us for the first time this week, I hope you can join us again next week, because I enjoy having your company. So until next week, take care.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Ciao.
Bye.
Thanks, Peter.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Good night.
Bye for now.